If pests have already shown up in your garden, you're actually closer to losing control than you think, because once they establish, they don't stay in one place, they multiply, they spread, and by the time most people react, honestly, it's already too late. Spraying might slow them down, but it doesn't solve the real problem, because the issue isn't the pests, it's the system they're thriving in, and unless you fix that, they keep coming back. The first thing you need to understand is that pests don't stay isolated. Aphids move, mites spread through contact, flying insects relocate quickly, so your first move is not treatment, it's containment. If one plant is heavily affected, it can quickly turn into 5, then 10. Creating space between plants helps. Avoiding unnecessary contact helps. Even how you move through your garden matters. You're not just dealing with pests, you're interrupting how they spread. The next thing most people miss is that pests target weakness. They don't randomly attack healthy plants. Plants under stress send signals and pests detect those signals instantly. Poor watering, weak soil, overcrowding, low airflow, all of these create the perfect conditions. So instead of only removing pests, you remove the reasons they stay. Strong plants resist. Weak plants invite problems. Another layer most people overlook is how pests actually find your plants. They don't rely on sight, they rely on scent. That means if your garden is easy to read, pests will keep finding it, but when you introduce strong aromatic plants, you disrupt that signal. Basil, mint, rosemary. These plants don't just sit there, they release compounds into the air, constantly. To pests, it becomes confusing. Like trying to find something through static. They know something is there, but they can't lock on to it. This doesn't remove pests instantly, but it makes it harder for them to settle, and harder for them to spread. Now here's where most people get it wrong. They focus on removing pests instead of increasing what eats them. Your garden already has allies: ladybugs, hoverflies, parasitic wasps. These are natural control systems, but honestly, most gardens just don't attract enough of them. Plants like dill, lavender, and chives act like signals. They bring these predators in, and once they arrive, they don't just help once. They keep pest populations under control, continuously. This is where your garden starts to change, from reactive to balanced. Now, here's a strategy most people ignore. Instead of protecting every plant, you concentrate the problem. Trap crops like nasturtiums pull pests away from your main crops. So, instead of pests being everywhere, they gather in one place. And once they're concentrated, you deal with them once. You're no longer chasing the problem across your entire garden. You're controlling where it exists. One mistake that makes everything worse is overreacting. Constant spraying, even natural spraying, can remove beneficial insects too, which breaks the balance. And when that happens, pests often come back stronger. Short-term control creates long-term problems. Instead, small, consistent changes work better. They allow the system to stabilize, and that's the shift most people never make. Pests are not the root problem, they are the result. When your garden is balanced, pests struggle to spread, predators increase naturally, plants become more resilient. Over time, you stop dealing with outbreaks completely, not because pests disappear, but because they never take over. Most people wait until pests spread, then try to fight them, but by then, they're reacting, not controlling. Once you understand how the system works, everything changes. You stop chasing problems and start preventing them.